Okay, I'd like to call the Dover Select Board meeting to order on Tuesday, March 17th, 2026 at 6:30 PM. Public comments. I know we have something from the Water Task Force. Is there anything else? Yes, Jim.
Is there a horizontal question? I heard that the disc golf people are coming back again this summer.
I'm unaware of that. Anybody else? I'm not aware of that. I will ask Shannon.
Well, I was wondering if they are coming, are they renting that out?
They didn't rent it last year. That's all, I know that for a fact.
And I can't find any applications to rent it on the town's website, and I was curious what the cost was.
I don't have the answer to any of those questions, but we can find out.
Thank you.
Okay. Okay, anything else for public comments? Patrick, then.
Water. Okay, this is an update on the water system or the water task force's work. The feasibility study update is completed. I circulated for comment, but have not received any comments to the substance of the report or questions from members of the select board or the other members of the water task force. So we're prepared to post the report on the town website this week, as long as the select board concurs. I think we just wanted to touch base with this group and make sure that that was it. We will add an introductory cover letter just to, explain to everybody what it is in the background, but the report does stand on its own as an independently produced work by Dufresne Group. We really appreciate, and I want to acknowledge the hard work that they put in on this, and it's very valuable. The report's going to cover, and I know people have had a lot of questions about this. They're going to cover and analyze in detail things about the concerns about water quality and adequacy that led to the consideration of the system. There's a discussion of potential sources of water, potential service areas, design and connection options, estimates of cost to design, build, and operate, as well as options for financing. The report also presents actions we might consider as a town if we choose not to proceed. So it does present multiple options in both of those directions. And then recommends next actions for us to consider or for us to think about as we advance the process of thinking. It will be up to Dover citizens to decide whether to proceed building the system. We've tentatively scheduled a joint public meeting of the select board and the water task force on July 15th at 6 p.m. At Town Hall, I believe, to discuss it. And we're encouraging all the members of the community, spread the word, everyone who's here, read the report, come to the meeting with questions and comments, because that's how we decide what to do with this. So that's it.
Thank you for the update. So that will get loaded tomorrow?
Sometime, if I can get it done tomorrow, we'll do it tomorrow.
Okay, great.
I won't promise tomorrow, but I'm gonna try.
Great. Any other public comments? Okay, then we're gonna move on to any additions or deletions? No. Okay, unfinished business. We're gonna complete Dan Baliotti's appointments as Windham Solid Waste Management Representative. Does somebody you wanna continue that?
What?
You wanna be the rep?
Yes, I do.
Okay. Would somebody like to make a motion?
I make a motion that we appoint Dan Baliotti as a representative to Windham Solid Waste Management.
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. And now we need to complete Dan Baliotti's liaison appointments to the DRB and the highway.
I make a motion that we appoint Dan Baliotti as liaison to Development Review Board and Highway Department.
Second.
Any discussion? You want to be both of those?
Yes.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you.
I'm sorry, so are you abstaining, obviously?
What?
Are you abstaining from those motions? Is that about you?
Yes.
Okay. New business, DRB appointment, Linda McCarthy, 1-year term as an alternate. This letter is from the chair of the DRB, Sarah Shippey. The Development Review Board asks that you reappoint Linda McCarthy to a 1-year term as an alternate board member. Please let me know if you have any questions or comments. anything?
All the alternates are automatically one-year appointments.
Okay. Somebody wanna make a motion about reappointing Linda McCarthy as an alternate?
I move that we reappoint Linda McCarthy as an alternate to the DRB, serving a 1-year term.
Second. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
I'll abstain.
Very good. And now we have another appointment, which is to the planning commission appointment, Peter MacDonald and Diane McCormick for 4-year term. So, this is from Jack. You saw me.
He's the board
Yeah,
inspector.
Jack,
It's on my, yes.
Okay.
This is-
Dear board members, the planning commission asks that you reappoint the following individual to our commission, Diane McCormick, as with a term and that will expire February 6, 2030. The planning commission also asks that you reappoint the following individual, Peter MacDonald, to a term that will expire on March 15th, 2030.
I make a motion that we appoint Diane McCormick to a 4-year term on planning commission and reappoint Peter MacDonald to a 4-year term on the planning commission.
Second. Anything else? All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, we are gonna discuss defibrillators. From what I understand, Trip, who's in the audience, Trip Morris, spoke to Bobby Maynard at town meeting day.
Oh.
So, and asked if we could get a defibrillator at the town hall? Is that correct?
Yes,
Yes,
but not only the town hall, right here, and the library.
I think the library is getting one, they have raised funds and but they haven't purchased it yet. So how much do these cost? You know, Mike? 'Cause I see they're in all of your cruisers.
Yeah, so. At least for us, Bobby gets, we get them through Bobby, he gets them refurbished from somewhere up north. Did he send you anything today, Jeanette, on it?
He did not.
He was gonna try to get that together for you.
No,
The refurbished ones are between $500 and $600, I don't know how much a new one costs.
That's what Bobby told me that they would be.
And Mike, you have these Zoll OAED plus, is that
Yes.
what they tend to be, and that you find them reliable?
Yes, and the main benefit to those is that, it's what rescue carries and what. So there's pads that go on someone that plugs into our AED, you can unplug them from the AED and plug them right into the ambulance equipment. So once they're on someone, if they need to be transported, it's just a more seamless process.
So it says here for new, non-refurbished are between $1,300 and $2,500. But that wouldn't be what we,
No.
that's the ceiling.
Bobby gets a deal for towns.
Dan,
Refurbished, then I bought new batteries in them and stuff.
I don't know, they come certified, that's all I know.
yes, Trip.
So the defibrillator that saved me was from Defib Tech, and they refurbished after an incident.
That's
And it's still as good as new.
I can tell you, sorry.
Yes, please.
I can tell you that in the last month, we've used them 3 times. And shopped twice, which is not common. And every time we do it, we give the machine itself to Bobby, who downloads it. Makes sure everything's still working right, gets a bunch of data off of it for their end of things. He gets us new pads, so that would be a cost too, if they're ever used, you get new pads. And then we put them back in the car and they're good to go, so. We have used them often lately.
Trip.
So, my real career is insurance risk advisor. I would tell you, for those that have an idea, I almost died on the court and would not have been saved without a defibrillator. And if we're gonna protect the town, places like this and the town hall and places like that should have defibrillators. And it's pretty much a no-brainer. The average age of the people that spend time at the library and other places are within that, and at this point in time, this is using insurance money, make sure the town doesn't get ragged.
Any other discussion? Mike first, then Patrick.
The only other thing is the slight upkeep, you gotta, batteries do go, so depending on where you keep it, the batteries will go bad quicker if it's cold, so like we're changing more often because they're in the trunks of our cruiser.
Versus in a building,
The building would be better, but somebody would need to be
the
in
person,
charge of that and check them every once in a while. It's a simple process and it'll tell you if the batteries need to be replaced, but that'll be it. They're those giant old D batteries that have cheap and they're hard to find. You get them in bulk off of Amazon, but that would be a slight recurring maintenance, nothing major.
Patrick.
Thank you. That was one of my two questions. Second question is, in terms of using them, do we have to have anybody trained to use it? Is it intuitive or are they easy? I don't know.
Trip.
So I went down September 27th. We had a lot of people there, and these things have instructions the second you take them out, and they tell you how to do it.
Okay.
I'm sponsoring with Bobby Maynard, CPR training and the AED training, and I will do that every year. I cannot be here without somebody knowing how to use AED. So I just think it's the right thing to do.
Okay.
Mike.
Sorry, yeah, we get yearly updates on it along with CPR and basic first aid. And yeah, I'm sure Bobby's always willing to teach those classes, so if we needed to teach all the time employees, it couldn't hurt. They are intuitive. Once you open it, it tells you exactly what to do, where to put them. When you plug them in and turn it on, it walks you through what to do. You do chest compressions, shock, don't shock, and if it's shock, it doesn't do it unless it's smart, it's foolproof. It's not up to the person, it's up to the machine. Put it that way. So you can't accidentally shock someone.
Okay, that's good to know.
Nothing, good to, yeah, my understanding was you didn't technically even have to have training to use these things.
Correct, but it doesn't hurt.
I mean, it's a good, always,
Yes.
knowing is always better than not knowing, but
Yeah.
my
But to answer your
understanding was.
question, anyone that can read can
Thank
pick
you.
it up and go at it, but it's gonna be quicker if the town employees are here and know what they're doing, for sure.
Jim.
Having some experience with AEDs, they're almost bulletproof. I would hate to see the town buy them. And not have the responsibility to maintain them. The batteries certainly need to be checked frequently. And the pads themselves have expiration dates.
So we would need to allocate that to and have a schedule of managing it by a trained employee. Yes, Jim.
Someone would need the responsibility, certainly to check those on some kind of a schedule.
That's, yeah, which is.
Trip. Do you?
So at the end of the day, we have an older population everywhere we go, whether it's a library, the town hall, I was just meetings. And this is just the right thing to do. And listening to Jim and Mike, we may have got to my and cross some T's. But these, when I was at the town meeting, I stood next to Mike and Bobby Maynard, and I said, "Where is the AED in?" And there wasn't one. I know there are activities in there all the time. The library, we all know there's a cheap insurance policy if God forbid anything happens. And again, I wouldn't be alive without them. And that's the truth.
Thank you. Any more discussion? Does somebody want to make a motion? Mike.
The only last thought I have, since Travis is here, I don't know if it makes sense for them to have one. Just all this
At the
stuff
garage.
they're getting into and the work they do. I don't know if it would make sense.
Travis, would you want one of these machines that you're at the highway department?
I would be okay with it.
Okay, so
I assume we're gonna be responsible for maintaining it anyway, so we might as well know how to use
that's what
it.
I'm
and-
saying.
Yeah,
Read our minds.
we check all the batteries in the emergency exits and the fire extinguishers get checked and everything else, so we can just add it to the list. It's not a problem.
Thank you.
So we'd be talking about the garage, town
And
hall
here,
and town office.
And library.
the libraries has,
The libraries
Okay.
on, they've taken care of that on their own.
Okay, good.
okay, does somebody want to make a motion?
So I make a motion that we purchase and install AEDs at the town hall, the town office, and the town highway building. With maintenance to be scheduled through the highway commission, the road commission.
Second.
Anything else? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay. All right,
Best result I've ever had.
all right, we're gonna have the assessor give us a reappraisal update and timeline.
So I'm gonna give you, it was recommended, I believe, at the last meeting that I come with a timeline, probably. You probably have yours on here, which one right here. Just as an idea of what will happen. Want one of these?
Sure.
It's a little different than what I sent you yesterday. So. And just note that it's subject to change. Obviously, if. You know, life happens and if we. Get caught on anything. I don't know why we would.
I don't anticipate.
No, I'm neither, but, so, well, we're gonna, I
Sure.
don't know if you wanna,
Sure.
I'll have Ryan Sylvester, if you remember,
Mhm.
do an update.
Yeah, no problem, thank you. Yeah, so now, Ryan, project manager for your reappraisal. Mark and I are currently doing final field review. We're going to every single property that the data collectors visited over the last year and a half. And we're just validating data into a quality assurance check, setting final values, doing real-time sales analysis in the field. Seeing some of these crazy sales that we're seeing here, and it's not unique to Dover whatsoever. Also doing statistical reappraisal and Ludlow simultaneously, so it's pretty much copy paste the same level of sales in both communities. We finish with review by the end of the week, and then we'll go get all that data entered, do final analysis, and then we are going to have some time to kind of wait. So we're going to that last week of May will be our informational hearings. We're going to have them at the East Dover Town Hall. We'll have capacity. We'll be running 4 simultaneous stations. So we'll have 4 schedules. We'll be able to do approximately like 150 a day over 5 days. So that's what we're kind of maxing out at. I ran some numbers before I came in as far as inspection percentages. So out of your R1s and R2s, so those are residential properties, R1s less than 6 acres, R2s greater than 6 acres. Out of those properties, approximately 1,250, we got into 42% of those properties for interior inspections for data collections, which is good. We obviously we want to get as many as we can, as much as we can. The only and then the poor statistic is the condos. Obviously, we have inspected 3% of the interiors of the condos. So
That normal, that low?
yes.
Okay,
Yes, it is. So they literally get our letters, they get their boards together and they organize. And they're typically the organization is do not communicate at all with the vendor, and we're just gonna have to deal with it, during the deal. We're pretty good. A lot of your condo complexes are fairly new. So that's not a huge issue. We know the quality, there hasn't been a lot of time for them to be updated. It's the ones that were built in the 70s and 80s where you could have 2 of them, they could be looking exactly identical on the exterior, but one is, original 1975. And the other one just finished, a $500,000 renovation yesterday. And those are the ones where what was gonna happen in the original units assessment will be high. And they're gonna have to come in through either the informational hearings and, render us photography photos, if we want to do site visits, the discrepancy is like incredibly large. If I'm saying the unit's worth 1.2 and you're saying it's worth 450, well, we gotta go see it, we were not just gonna obviously take photography at that point to make those kind of decisions. So it's difficult. I've been the assessor in Ludlow for 5 years, been working there for 8, and I've inspected a similar percentage. I think about like 5% of all condo units, and that's over a course of like 8 years. And reappraisal. So
So you'll be seeing a lot of those people potentially.
Yeah,
we will, yeah,
Yeah.
the nice thing is that there are a lot of sales, a lot of property work, so we shouldn't have as many issues. It's definitely gonna be the ones that we're gonna have more discrepancies with. But we will get through it, we'll have the ability either in person or via phone or over the phone. To, speak with people and, go back and forth during those informal hearings. The other statistic I ran, which is a little bit, I think it's more telling of the times, is that we had 35 taxpayers parcels that didn't allow us access to their property at all. So those are 35, basically we're doing those from the road, from the right of way. I have been driving up quick, making a quick turn around the driveway, at least get eyes on some of this stuff. But that number is increasing each year. We do mass reappraisal. And here at 35, that is a large number. Typically we have like 5, a handful, 5, 7, in a community. So I think that's more telling of the times in the tax environment and, more so than anything else. But it's just something I want to share with you. We're going to render them new assessments. We're going to handle them the same as anybody else. But, when we get to the informal stage, it's going to really say, hey, we're going to work with you, bring us photos. Obviously it depends on what we're talking about. If we're talking about a 3-bedroom ranch, bring us photos. We're good. I understand you don't want us, and that's fine. That's your personal preference. But if we got a $3.5 million value on something, we're going to require an inspection to make render any change at that point. So we do have to be a bit discretionary with what we use common sense.
Yeah.
With how we handle each one, case by case.
So
of the ones that are not allowing you access, and I'm assuming these are aside from the condos, these are.
Yeah,
they're outside the condo.
Those technically the condos.
So are these what you would, as on your drive-bys, consider high-end units or low-end? Or
Middle of the road.
middle of the road?
Yeah, middle of the road, upper middle, yeah.
Okay.
I haven't done, I still need to do Handle Road. And, moving to the mountain, so I'm sure we'll have a couple more over there, but it's mostly been, middle of the road, middle of that property.
Cause I know there were a few properties that grieved their assessments. And they had site visits from the Board of Civil Authority, so I don't know if any of the information from those inspections, which were maybe a year or two ago, would be at all useful, but Linda probably knows which properties. Or Jeanette would have it in the minutes.
Sure,
Okay.
and the only limitation with that is that we've built you a new candidate database.
Mm-hmm.
So all that is kind of like starting fresh again.
Mm-hmm.
So we wouldn't, to be cognizant potentially of some, really specific or very individual, BCA appeals in the past. We would be good to be cognizant of that, but we're gonna go with what we have and move forward and not really, because what's happened in the past or what the BCA physically saw during their inspection may not be what we're looking at today, or we may be looking at it just slightly differently than the BCA did. So everything we do, especially as we get down to setting final values and our informal appeals, is to limit the amount of formal grievances and BCA appeals that you have, obviously, because once it gets to the BCA level, which I can touch on, I will offer a little mini seminar to your BCA. We'll talk about this, more in June. But it's been very successful in the past where we get together for an hour and a half and in the evening, as the BCAs start getting scheduled and just, get all of your BCA members familiar with the new data card. Get them familiar with the trends, percentage trends we're seeing and, a little bit with how I would suggest they, inspect the properties, what to look for and stuff like that. So it's very successful, when we do that. So that's definitely something I like to offer and we can organize when we get to that point.
That'd be great.
Yeah.
Great. It's been a long time since we obviously had a reappraisal, so.
Yeah.
Yeah. Great, well. Yes, Patrick.
I'm just thinking about logistics. When you get to the informals, I was talking with Linda earlier today, and I understand there's some thought about how we schedule it. Do you have kind of a sense of what the best practice is here? Because I can see if we have a lot of these, waiting for phone calls is a recipe for disaster, I think.
Waiting for phone calls to schedule them.
To schedule.
Well, so, and I was talking with Andy about this as well.
Yeah.
And, so we're gonna have 4 schedules representing 4 stations. And my thought was we'll put Linda's phone number on as well as Andy's phone number on, so they can call either. And then split the schedule so that there are 2 schedules now, so.
Yeah. Oh, sorry.
Okay, so sure, so but as far as so we typically, these are all scheduled by phone, so when we're at EMC, that's the one thing we just are responsible for in the process of scheduling the appointments. So I'm willing to facilitate or work however, but yeah, open any suggestions.
Sarah.
Is there any way to do it online where people can go on and choose their own appointments? Have a calendar built?
Sure, if you want to
Linda.
look at calendar.
So Patrick brought up getting an online app for just that they would get it from the town website. Tabby showed me one today. It might work okay. We did add when you call into the town office and you get your choice of 3, 4, 5, 6, whatever. We did make the smaller office downstairs with its own extension number, so feasibly somebody could be in that office taking calls. It won't work for Andy to be scheduling just because of what their days are like. He said, he could give an hour or so every, couple of days, however, but we'll work it. What I ran into was scheduling for inspections. I was accepting emails and I would respond and then I'd never hear back. So I'm not hunting people down, but, or if I scheduled something, got distracted, didn't write it in the book for these guys, and they'd show up at a house with nobody there. So I learned how to say, I'm sorry.
Sarah.
I would just imagine, once people have that piece of paper in their hand that says this is what you're gonna be taxed on, they're going to be motivated, right? And I would guess 70–80% of those people will be very happy to go online and book their own appointment. There'll still be people that will need to talk to someone on the phone. They'll want to do it outside of the parameter in terms of times or days, or they'll just have a lot of questions about the process, that kind of thing. But if we could get the bulk of them to self-schedule, it's gonna lighten up the load for everybody else. And then you can focus on the people who really do need the extra hand-holding.
Right.
Jim.
I can see a little bit of danger of setting up a separate extension number to call in and leave a message. One of the limitations of the phone system is mailboxes have a certain size, although I don't know the size. But, say it's 25 people. If you're the 26th and on person trying to leave a message, sure it'll be.
I heard Linda's line just got opened up to more message. Yeah. 90?
Nice.
He backed it off from 99. Wow, thanks. Now typically it's 20. So, yeah.
So we also truncate the amount of time, so we'll be mailing the letters on the 11th, so there'll be like 12 days of scheduling. You know, until we start day one, and then typically we'll schedule like 3 days into actually having the informals before we just gotta shut it off, because that Saturday's the last day.
Mhm.
I will help facilitate any online system that you have. I'll just have to, you know, format it for you for the information that we need. And you know, we'll go with it if that's the solution. So.
Yes, Patrick.
Can you just talk, I'm new with this, so like, is there a short form? How do these informal meetings typically go and how long do they typically?
Sure, so 15 minutes. You're gonna come sit down across from myself or one of my staff. And I'll give you the spiel. We're literally gonna say this is designed for me to listen to you, any questions, comments, or concerns that you have about your preliminary value up to this point.
Yeah.
So and then we'll have a very organic back and forth. So obviously, I mean, anyone that's coming in is gonna have, you know, their piece, right? You know, what they wanna say, and so we just open the floor to them, and we're taking notes. We have, they get updated copy of their parcel card, we're looking at it as well. Well, that way we have the ability to review it together, go over it, answer any
So that if
questions.
there are mistakes or,
100%.
yeah, that's the first place to
Yeah,
say, no, this isn't right. You know, I don't have
Yeah.
wood floors on all my rooms or whatever.
I don't have a third bathroom.
Mhm.
yeah, exactly. And what's more, the data points that are weighted heaviest weighted are really your bathrooms and kitchen.
Okay.
And overall depreciation, so we'll ask a lot of questions about that, like, so I see the house was built in 1975, is the kitchen original to 75? Oh no, it was updated in the 90s, well, that's still dated today, so, you know, we have grades, you know, that are associated with those factors. So a lot of that will be, again, discretionary at the table, depending on what class of property we're looking at. Obviously, the higher up the value food chain we get, the more in the direction of, we haven't gotten an interior, you're telling us there's large discrepancies with our data in your property. The only way we can render a change at this point is to do an interior inspection. So.
Well, I appreciate you. Any other questions? I appreciate you coming in and explaining it. You know, you did some of this earlier in some of the other meetings that, you know, but it's, you know, it's been a while, so
Yes.
we appreciate that. And
Yeah, it's all coming around, it's gonna be fresh, so,
yeah, cool, awesome. Thank you.
thank you.
Thank you for the timeline, Linda.
Thank you, Linda.
Thanks, Tim.
Thank you for coming.
All right, next we're going to highway. Travis is asking us to consider a tow behind scraper box for $7,151. You're smiling,
Yeah,
Travis. Tell us about this. I'm unfamiliar with it.
yeah, so this is a tow behind scraper box. A lot of the surrounding towns have them. They have been, you know, proven to be really helpful during the mud season. Normally in the past we have used our York rakes, so this is gonna save us from burning our teeth off of our York rake trying to scrape the high spots and the mud ruts and everything else. We can tow it with the roadside mowing tractor or a small dog truck or something of that sort, maybe even the bucket loader if we have to, but I think it could be a huge help.
And is this a new machine or the scraper? Is it new?
Yep, it's brand new.
Well, you've been bringing us a lot of used stuff. That's what
7151 is
Refurbished.
yeah, no, this is brand new. It's a fairly small piece of equipment. It should last us a good long time. I don't see putting it on the replacement plan at any time. You know, this is our York rakes and wood chippers aren't on there, so you know, it's fairly small. So
Well, I can attest that this has been a heck of a year for mud on Holland Road. It's not been pretty.
No.
And Jeanette agrees.
Maybe we should hate it.
Heresy.
Other questions about a tow behind scraper? It seems like, why didn't we have one already?
Yeah, that's kind of my thoughts, and that's why I thought I should just come to you guys and see if it's something we can do. If it's not, I'll just put it in for next year. But if we can do it, it's available to us within a couple of weeks here, so like we could use it.
Put it right to work.
Yep.
Are you envisioning this money coming from the capital equipment fund or from your regular
Capital
highway?
equipment. Yeah,
Okay.
capital equipment. Like I had mentioned to a few of you, this, a lot of the times we come in under on even a few of our items under budget. I think this could easily be made up.
Questions?
So you're saying at this point in the year, when you look at what was set aside from the capital equipment budget for you, you have not expended, you've expended less than, or you're 7,100 away from hitting your total cap. This money's sitting in the capital budget.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
Highway was way under last year.
Okay.
Yeah.
Just, it all blurs together.
Okay,
Okay.
someone gonna make a motion?
I'll make a motion that we authorize Travis to purchase the Land Pride BB 4510 10-foot pull behind type drag scraper for $7,151.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. With the money coming from the capital equipment fund.
Money coming up, yes. I'm amending that.
Thank you.
Thank you, Travis. Okay. Police department, here comes the parade. So we do this every year for the Blueberry Parade. The whole board signs this. Yep.
So I make a motion that we authorize the select board to sign the special traffic regulation document allowing for the Blueberry Parade. Do we have a date on this? August 1st. On August 1st, 2026.
Second.
Any discussion?
No.
Bring on the blueberries, all in favor?
Aye. And make a motion, we go into the Board of Liquor Control.
Second.
I think Patrick beat you just under. All in favor?
Aye.
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 Anything?
I have a comment.
Okay.
It's just, the only comment I have is about Snow Republic. We've had zero problems with parking or issues regarding the mess that we saw the first year or two. It's been,
So are we saying that we should lift the requirement?
I'm just bringing that to you guys. I don't know if it's because it's there, but there have been no problems. So,
I mean,
just throwing it out there that, I know that was a big topic of discussion, but it has been, in my eyes, completely rectified. It has not been an issue.
I think that their directions on how to park and paving the parking lot made a dramatic, change in that.
And during
And
those busy hours, they do have attendance and it has been flawless. We haven't had a single issue.
and they have good signage inside and outside the building.
I hate to go backwards though.
I'm not telling you, I was just bringing it.
It was a nightmare.
Well, they're not here to argue against it, so I would say let's keep the same requirement in place unless they come and request that it be rescinded, right?
Agreed.
Besides that, are there?
I'm good.
Okay. All right, so I make a motion, I'm gonna do Snow Republic separately.
Okay.
Make a motion that we approve the first and third class licenses and outside consumption permit for Snow Republic LLC. Continuing the existing requirements and restrictions regarding parking.
Second. All in favor?
Aye.
I make a motion that we approve the first class license for Oz Vermont LLC DBA Deerfield Valley Inn, the first class license and outside consumption permit for American Flatbread, and the first and third and outside consumption permits for Two Dogs LLC DBA Dover Bar and Grill.
Okay. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion's come out.
Make a motion to come out of the Board of Liquor Control.
All in favor?
Aye.
Consent agenda, we need to approve the minutes of March 4th, which was town meeting day. And the minutes of,
No.
sorry,
Wasn't
that was our reorganization.
I make a motion that we approve the minutes of March 4th, 2026.
Second.
Any changes? Okay. All in favor?
Aye.
I abstain.
I make a motion, we approve the warrants of March 14th, 2026 for $292,389.64.
Second.
Any questions? All in favor?
Aye.
FYI, Planning Commission meets March 23rd at 6:30 p.m. Select Board gathering March 25th at noon to 1:30 p.m. Newburgh Fire Station. Is anybody going?
Want to go, gotta see if I can.
I went last year and it was really good. I'm out of town, unfortunately.
It's a Wednesday.
Yeah,
I will.
next Wednesday.
Hmm.
Okay.
I think we have to RSVP.
Yeah, I think she sent you all the link.
Yeah.
You did?
Yep. Dover Water Task Force meets March 25th at 5 p.m. And the Rock River Flood Community Meeting is April 11th at the Dover Town Hall from 10 to noon. And they will be providing some light food. Liaison reports.
I'll have just one very quick one. So last night at the RV USD meeting, the board did vote to approve the budgets that will be submitted to the voters. And there was some discussion about well, it was a fair amount of discussion about the changes that are coming, and there's a lot of anxiety about that. And I think to Rich's credit, I think he managed a very good discussion. So I just want to recognize him for doing that, because that's a difficult topic.
It is. Thank you for going. Okay, any other liaison reports? I don't know of any executive session. So motion to adjourn
Move to adjourn.
at 7:13.
Second.
Thanks, thank you.
Patrick, I was zoned for like 2 seconds and I missed what